Welcome to the Relation Stitch podcast, where we discuss theoretical and spiritual principles related to relationships, marriages, family, and parenting. I'm your host, Clyde Fraley, licensed marriage and family therapist, with my wife and co-host, Stephanie. Let's get started. It's been a while.
Well, hello there, stranger.
Hello there, stranger. It's been about 8 months since I was kicked in the batteries by a stroke.
Well, there's an opener for you.
I'm not wrong.
You are not wrong. But, do we even remember how to do this?
I don't know. It's been a while. Look how chubby I am.
Oh, honey.
My voice is all like garbly. So bear with me.
Yes.
Out there in internet land.
For those of you who may not know, so our 2025 started off interesting.
Medullary is the word of the day.
Yes. So New Year's Eve, New Year's Eve.
That's redundant.
Yeah, New Year's Eve. The eve of New Year's Eve. Clyde actually had a medullary stroke. And it's been a long journey, an interesting journey, lots of ups, lots of downs.
And I haven't done anything in 8 months.
Oh, I don't even want to hear it, actually. I'm incredibly proud of you. I really am. You've taken a difficult situation, a difficult time, and you've really learned how to make lemons aid out of lemons.
Lemon's aid.
You've taken a difficult time and really found some great in it. And so I'm very proud of you. You've, like I said, I know your comeback story is not done being written, but what you've done so far has been amazing. And I really am just so proud of you and how far you've come. I mean, starting at the beginning, you could barely hold yourself up sitting in bed, let alone walk and, do all the things. But It's been a difficult 10 months. But I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, and that what we're going to talk about today is just a small piece of evidence of that. But I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that God is truly helping you take a very difficult situation and turn it around for your good.
Yeah.
And so I'm so proud of you.
Yeah. You're my strength, and you're the thing that pushes me forward, and of course everyone's prayers, our church family and our literal family and all that.
Yeah.
God's worked a miracle, and it takes some people 5, 6, 7 years to come back from something like this, and It's been hard. I can't say it hasn't, but man, God is healing me, and
yes,
and I've been able to be productive. I wrote a couple of books, and we're going to talk about one of them today.
Yeah, absolutely. So the one we're going to talk about today, this is the first one. It is available right now for purchase. Romance and Attachment Theory Workbook. I'm so excited to talk about this today. We've had an opportunity to work through this. But, attachment theory, that sounds a little bit clinical. Sounds like something that definitely is more in your day-to-day world than maybe something that myself or, the average person would necessarily be more familiar with. Why attachment theory? Why is that such a big part of relationships?
So in doing this, because I'm a typical guy and I want to take as many shortcuts as I can, I'm always looking for that silver bullet, that one thing that I can give to clients that they can walk away with, be like, man, we're fixed.
One session.
One session. That doesn't exist, by the way. But I have noticed that all couples can benefit from understanding their attachment style. And because I'll get couples come in and I've been married 15 years and I still, don't understand my partner. Well, it's because you don't understand the context of their life and of their, you don't know enough of their history. In those things, you're going to learn when you go through this workbook. And yes, the term attachment theory definitely sounds very clinical, but the workbook itself is made for just regular folks to go through and for couples to go through. And it's easy. It's an easy read. There's not like a bunch of big clinical terms in it or anything. I wrote it to be simple and to go through quick. And it's just a basic, like it's a beginner's guide to attachment theory. But there's a lot of tools in here that can help you. Mm-hmm.
So understanding not only your own attachment style, but potentially your partner's, how does that change the dynamics in a relationship?
So first of all, there's 4 attachment styles. You can be secure, avoidant, anxious, or disorganized. And if you read literature, there's other terms that they use, but I wanted to keep it simple. People just usually fall into one of those 4 categories. And so if I know that you're a certain style, that helps me and it gives me kind of a roadmap on how to navigate you, right? So if you know that I'm predisposed to be anxious because of what I went through growing up, then that should give you an idea on how to better, communicate with me. Mm-hmm. So for example, if you know that your partner's anxious, what you probably learned is they need a lot of disclosure, they need a lot of transparency and communication because they need to feel secure in that relationship. And any little thing can make them feel insecure.
Right.
And so someone that's avoidant, you know that there's certain things that you can do that pushes them away because they learned that I didn't get help, so I'm going to have to help myself. So you could be in a situation where that arises in your relationship, where they ask for help and they don't get it soon enough, so they just bail.
Yeah.
Fine, I'll do it myself.
Yeah.
No, I just need a minute.
Right.
But they overreact.
Yeah.
And they're not necessarily overreacting against you. It's just they're triggered based on their childhood.
Right.
So if we understand our styles, we know how to navigate each other better.
How often or how common do you think you would find where, because I see the world through a certain lens based on my style, that I'm going to assume you're seeing it that same way?
We are egocentric by nature, meaning me. I have a frame and I look through that frame. I have a lens, I look through that lens, and that's how I see the world. And then I make the assumption that everyone sees it the same way that I do.
Right.
Or we feel like, because certain things are universally defined, and we think that everyone goes by that universally defined thing.
Right.
But we have operational definitions of those things as well, like love. There's a dictionary's version, but then we also have the version of love that we operate from based on our experience, which is subjective, And so, yeah, that's really a good point where why don't they see it like I see it?
Or why is this person pushing me away when, we're in a relationship and we shouldn't, be pushing, just gives that additional information. Anyway.
Yeah. Like a good example with us was, because early on in our relationship, I'll just disclose now, I was probably either disorganized or avoidant. And so there was times you would want to kiss me and I would pull away because it was uncomfortable for me.
No soft kisses.
Yeah, that emotionally hurt me, and it confused me because I didn't understand this stuff at the time, And so, and of course, how could you not take that personally?
Right.
He doesn't love me.
Right.
I'm trying to be pretty and all the, and all the things, and you're going through your mind, checking all these boxes, like, what did I do? And
right.
He doesn't think, but it had nothing to do with that at all.
Because I was looking at it through a secure style.
Right. Yeah. You're looking through it from a secure style, and the secure style it's normal. The secure style is the closest to that.
Healthy.
The healthy definition of things.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so, but once you heard my story, then it started to make sense to you, I think.
Absolutely. And actually, that's a great point. Do you often get people who kind of dismiss what they went through as a child as, oh, I'm not here to talk about my childhood. I'm just here to talk about my marriage. Like that's the past. I don't need to go down that road.
That's exactly it. I'm here to talk about my marriage. Well, you cannot talk about your marriage and your relationship without looking in the mirror and figuring yourself out. And especially with guys, media has put a stigma on the childhood thing because they come in and when I talk about childhood, they're thinking I'm going to go all Freudian on them and psychoanalyze their childhood. No, that's not what I'm doing at all. I want to get the idea of what they went through. I need that context. But even more importantly, I want them to tell me so their partner is reminded.
Or even is aware.
Yeah, they may not even know, especially
Right.
if they're a new couple. And so I think a lot of times couples share things early on in their relationship, but they're painful memories, and say they don't want to revisit it. Or
Right.
like you said, they didn't share it at all, so they don't have that context, And but absolutely, so I have to explain, no, we're not doing that. And I don't go into the details, And I'll even give them this quiz. It's called the Adverse Childhood Experiences Quiz. It's in this book. And it's just a 10-question quiz that asks you about things, neglect.
Did you experience these
Yeah,
things?
did you experience this kind of neglect or abuse growing up? And so that also gives me context. And I show, they get to show each other their scores.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, you had a 6 and I only had a 1.
Right.
Right? And so
Coming from completely different places.
Yeah. And so, and the higher that score is, the more likely is you're going to struggle through life with a lot of different things.
Yeah. Something you shared with me before that I just thought was remarkable is that it's not just your childhood. It could even start from the very point of origin when you're still in your mother's womb.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Imagine this. You have a young lady, she's 16 or 18, gets pregnant, kicked out of the house, boyfriend leaves, drops out of high school, working 3 jobs just to try to survive. That's a lot of stress, a lot of cortisol, a lot of adrenaline. All those chemicals are going to the baby. And the baby is born with this anxious, and all of these chemicals, and they cry a lot. And they're unconsolable because, not always, but a lot of it has to do with that trauma that mom has passed to the baby.
Right.
And that continues on, more than likely, in a scenario like that, after the baby's born.
Right.
Boyfriends coming in and out, and just all the drama that would come with that kind of an experience, And then they grow up and they get married. And they marry someone secure. They don't know how to deal with that.
Right.
I didn't know how to deal with you when I married you. I really didn't. I was like, oh, you're so annoying and happy. God, I can't stand it. Our first date, she's talking to me and I had to walk away. Because it was too much for me. You remember that?
Yes, I remembered that. And by the way, that was not our first date, I argue. That was just the first time we hung out in a group.
Yeah.
In a group setting.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was a date. It doesn't count. If I'm not being pampered, it doesn't count as a date.
I maybe bought you coffee. I don't even know if I
No, you didn't even do that. You got annoyed and then went to the magazine aisle and got a Drummer's World and escaped.
Yeah, I got my Drummer's World magazine. Just read it. You sat there with Chris and Tanya.
We were having fun. We were laughing, and you just found that to be a bit too much.
Life is not about laughing and fun. I mean, that was my frame, right? I don't know why you married me. I'm kind of I've loosened up over the years and I can have fun.
Yes, you have. But but thank you for sharing that about kind of that it's not even the memory, really. It's the actual chemicals in the body. And you were saying something about that that's actually stored in the muscles themselves?
Yeah, so because babies and infants, they don't have like memory. Their brain isn't developed. and they don't have language skills and all of that. So they store the memory. It's called implicit memory. And the book kind of talks about that. And it's stored in your body.
Right.
And that's why even as adult, and trauma works the same way, And so when you're triggered, it's not about your memories. In fact, when you're traumatized, your memories are fragmented anyway. It's like nothing makes sense. It's all messed up. And so that's why talk therapy doesn't really work with trauma. You have to do other kind of modalities. But anyway, but it's actually stored in your body.
It's incredible.
Yeah. So Bessel van der Kolk's book, The Body Keeps the Score, is a really great resource to read that goes into that. And I've went through a lot of his studies and trauma work and learned a lot about that. And it's fascinating. And it's really sad at the same time.
Yeah.
But just the biology of it's really interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think it gives us that great picture of where this is leading to, and that so much of how we process conflict, how we process life, how we process situations that we may come across, there's a lot of things that contribute to our reactions, our behaviors, and even like with what you just shared, like even things that you don't even necessarily realize or remember, but it has an effect. So understanding and kind of working through that, because as you said earlier, you were a completely different person when we first got married than where you are today. Mm-hmm. You're a lot closer to a secure type of relationship or a secure type of style than you were when we first got married. So the good news is that by going through the workbook and understanding it doesn't mean that that's where you have to stay. It just means that understanding it helps you to navigate some of those unintentional responses that we have and make a better choice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Understanding your style is just the beginning, that awareness is the starting point.
Yeah.
And this is not a quick fix.
Right.
We've been married for 27 years or so. And it's taken that whole time and deliberate effort. Part of the reason I got into this game was to be a better husband and father.
Right.
Like I was really dedicated. I'm like, I don't want to screw this up. I really want to be good at it. Like not as a therapist. I think I'm a good therapist, but more than that, I want to be a good dad. And
right.
I want to be a good husband, and I need help.
Yes.
So I was able to double dip. I was able to help myself and to help others at the same time.
Yeah. So how does someone use this workbook to determine their style?
So it's really easy and it's really short. You could go through it in an evening and you can go through it together or separately, but it just breaks it down. It starts with explaining, where attachment styles, how they form, and I define each of the styles. I give the pros and cons of each style. Each style actually has benefits to it,
Yeah.
And then you take the quiz and you figure out what your style is. And then there's exercises in here that help you share your story with your partner so that they have a better context. The idea of the context is to give your partner patience and empathy while you're working through it.
Right.
Okay, it's like, I remember what you went through growing up. I don't expect you to stay there, and you better not stay there.
Right.
But I'm willing to hold your hand through it.
Right.
And we're going to grow together. So I am in no way saying that this style is fixed. No. Once you have this information, you got to run with it and be like, okay, there's a better way. I can work towards being more secure, But the key is you got to have someone in your life that can be trustworthy, hold the room with you, right? Mm-hmm. You can share your stories and they're not going to make you feel any kind of way about it other than just to be there with you. And you've been great at that, I don't think that there's anything in my life that you don't know about. I don't know that I'm taking anything to the grave. I think you know everything. And some of it's ugly, but I felt safe enough to share that stuff with you.
Right.
And because I felt safe enough to share it with you, there's been a lot of healing with that,
Absolutely. It's great to be able to be each other's therapist.
Yes. I would love to work myself out of a job,
Yeah.
And I tell couples that all the time. You need to get to the point where you can help each other, because no one knows me like you know me.
Right.
Like, I can talk to a therapist and bounce stuff off of them, but they don't know me the way that you do.
And likewise.
And so you're uniquely qualified to help me in that way, and vice versa.
Absolutely. And actually, that's a great segue to my favorite part of this workbook, which is these little pairings that you did. I love these because it takes each of the different styles and it not only pairs them together, but it kind of gives a roadmap for potential risks, potential benefits, how to work together, how to navigate that in a very simple, concise way. Great resource in here for understanding your partner, understanding yourself, and really working through the journey that is ahead.
Yeah, there's 10 different pairings. And so when you go through it, you can just go to the one that, is applicable to you. So you have secure and avoidant open. And so, I probably lean towards avoidant early on.
Yeah.
But there's a lot. It's not all bad. Our style is what it is, and we can leverage that, And so, like, avoidant styles, maybe they're more creative and internal and introspective. I mean, you can use that,
right.
And the more anxious styles, sometimes they're like what you call anal retentive people, right? But they're good at bookkeeping, and they're good at record keeping, or they're good at, all organization and things like that. You
very detail oriented.
Exactly. And so you can leverage your style, and you just got to learn to use the good and avoid the stuff that's, can be troublesome.
Absolutely. This book definitely focused more on the romance side and navigating that. But, to be honest with you, I found it very helpful to even kind of see people that I work with, or just people that, we're in relationship with, understanding their style. Like, it kind of gives you some clues as to what someone's frame of reference might be with. So as you'd even just navigate relationships in general, a very helpful tool and resource to have in your tool belt for successful relationships in general.
Yeah. If you're in a position where you're managing people, like even like a pastor, or like I said, a manager or something like that, and you understand these styles, what it does, it helps you approach them differently, because you can't approach everyone the same way.
Right.
It's like, okay, I got this person over here, and they're a little more anxious, right? And so that requires me to have a little bit more communication with them. The avoidant one is like, okay, they're a little bit more hands-off.
Right.
I need to touch base with them once in a while. They're very self-sufficient, and they can get it done on their own. And so I'm going to manage them like that. So absolutely, this would be great to use in those settings.
Absolutely. And then once you understand your attachment style and how to kind of navigate that, then you need some help in how to communicate.
How can we do that?
Oh, but wait, there's more.
Hey, there's more.
Very soon on the horizon, we have the other project you've been working on. The Romance and Attachment Theory workbook is ready for purchase now. That is ready to go. This is really close.
Yeah, that's maybe 2 or 3 weeks away. It's basically, that's my proof, and I'm just kind of cleaning it up a little bit. But it's written and pretty much ready to go. I'm excited about that. I won't drop any spoilers. We'll do a different video on that.
That's another podcast.
That will probably be a couple podcasts. There's a lot of really good stuff in there. But this is the idea. Once you know your style and you can get to the point where you can have conversations, that book will go deeper into the conversation piece of it.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So how do they get this workbook?
Yeah, you can go to clydefraley.com and even the Squawk and Talk book, that one's ready for pre-order. But you can go to clydefraley.com and get it, or you can go to Amazon and you can get the paperback, or you can get the Kindle version of that. And so, yeah.
Or if they're in the state of Texas, maybe they may want to come see you and work through this workbook together with you.
Yeah, if you're in the North Houston area, I don't really do video sessions, but we're in.
Well, I think somebody from El Paso should drive to see you.
I do have clients that drive around quite a ways.
Well, that's because you're really, that good.
Yeah, it does help them, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're interested in learning more about your style, or you want to just sit with me and go through this as a couple, I would love to do that. And that's actually why I created it, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't expect this to be a bestseller. Maybe it could be.
Don't say that.
I know, but really I made it for, for my therapy office and for my clients. It's just a more structured way of teaching them about attachment theory. Because I've been using attachment theory for years and have taken courses on it and stuff like that. And I'm a huge fan of it because at first I didn't quite understand it, but the more and more I met with clients, it started making more sense with me. I'm like, okay, there's really something to this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So ClydeFraley.com, Amazon.com.
Mm-hmm.
Now that you're back in front of that microphone, what's next?
We have Dr. Bishop, Pastor, Author Larry Mack Jr.
That's a whole. He's got more titles than you do.
Yeah,
it's got to step up your game, bro.
I know he is legit. Anyway, he's coming to town in a few days. I'm going to interview him. That's going to be a great conversation. He's a great man of God. There's not many people that I know that really pursue the Lord like he does.
Yeah.
And has a heart for people.
And families.
Yeah. And so he's got a PhD in theology, and he's also got a lot of, I don't know if he's credentialed or what, but he's done a lot of work with psychology and counseling. And he wrote a book and it was a #1 seller on Amazon.
That's exciting.
In that category for counseling. So good for him. And so he's coming in. We're going to talk about, I don't even know what.
I'm sure it'll be great.
But yeah, he's a wealth of knowledge, and it's going to be a great conversation. So I'm looking forward to having him in.
Absolutely. And I am so glad to be back behind this microphone with you. Not that, there's any, not that I add much to it, but, I'm glad to see you back behind the microphone again.
Thanks. Yeah, it's fun. I love doing this. And so bear with me as I get better. Hopefully my double chin will slowly disappear over the episodes. And this keto thing better work. Man, I'm wanting some pizza.
All right. I veto that. I veto. All right. Good stuff.
All right.
Proud of you.
See you in the next one.
Thank you for joining us today. Visit RelationStitch.com for free downloadable worksheets related to this episode and to access our relationship courses. If you're struggling in your relationship, go to RelationStitch.com to leave a prayer request or to schedule a therapy session with Clyde.